What's up, everybody? Vacation time is officially over for me. I have to go back to to regular employment. I gotta tell you so many blessings today. I think I told you about a few of them already. I'm gonna tell you about the ones I can remember off the top of my head. Sometimes it's too many to remember, but I'm gonna tell you about the best dollar that I spent in my whole life. And I can remember the best $2 I think I spent in my life, or $5, when I bought a portrait that Alex Correa, who was a person that used to do paintings in front of the College Station Metro Mover in Miami. Best $5 I spent in my life. The best $1 that I spent in my life today. I was on the bus and there was a young lady that was selling candy bars. At first I said no. One, because I'm learning to hold on to my money, but sometimes, the cause is even greater, because I said no the first time. I don't think she recognized me. I moved to the back of the bus. She asked me again, and I was like, no, thank you. And then she was just so cute about it and so smiley and sweet and professional. I was like, well, how much are they? They're $1. And the little girl behind me was like, yes, ma'am. And I was like, okay. And I mean, really, they brought a lot of joy to me, because when she bought the candy over, they didn't have any more with nuts. But after I purchased it, I had my earphones on, so I didn't hear everything. But then I heard the girl say, well, let me tell you who I am. And they all joined in this chorus about, what Christian school they were from, and began reciting Bible verses. I was like, wow. It truly made my heart smile. That was the best dollar that I spent in my life. More tragic news. I went to workforce, and there was a lady at the desk. And sometimes everybody that we see is not always who we think they are. And as we were talking, she told me that she was telling me to be careful, because I came in and I was telling her, she was like, oh yeah, it's hot in here, because I was fanning myself. And I was like, no, I think it's just me, because I catch the bus, so it's hot outside. And she was like, yeah, she's a fellow bus catcher too. But she told me to be careful, because what happened was, she was at a bus stop, and there was a guy that was just beating his girlfriend down really bad. And so she told him, I'm going to call the police. So he came over to her, kicked her on her leg, and he broke her leg, And the police, and the end of the story was this, that basically she called the police, but the girl told the police that her boyfriend was black, but he was actually white, to throw the police off. That really hurt my soul, because I was thinking that only the times when it showed up on news, but I should know better, being someone that was falsely accused and convicted. And it just hurt me, and I was like, wow, to know somebody personally that knows somebody where it wasn't televised, that lied and said that, it was a black man that did it, but it wasn't, so. And when I said that, I didn't realize it, but there was a very chocolate man behind me. I don't know if he was Haitian or Black American, but he gave me this look like, he was disappointed in me and that I was stupid. Probably because when I was standing in line, the lady messed up the password for me to log on, for one. But then it's like that she took forever with these white people. And then there was another girl, maybe he thought she was another race, but she was Black and Asian like me. She just looked different. She hasn't been through what I've been through, basically. But, so he had this look. So I don't know what the look was saying to me. But it was one of like, oh, you're stupid, So, for me to talk to this woman after she messed my thing up. But she got it all together. I try to learn as much from people as I can. Any other experiences I can think of? Yes, I ran into this company called... Oh, let me talk with the Asian American woman. Now, me being Afro-Amerasian, she felt me standing in line. I was waiting. There was a guy was waiting behind me. He left and came back. They were all chatting up. Of course, because she's Afro-Amerasian, you have features that are kind of distinct to both races, and depending on how you put it together, you attract a lot of people. So there was a dirty white man, sorry to say, dirty white man that was like all over her, fawning all over her. And I was like, really? Not because, just because I had the wrong password, I just need to change this. And I'm like, I know you see me, here. And, in line and everything. And I'm like, my password didn't work out, And they're just going on and on how he's making mango jam. And, she's waiting, actually, I guess, for the person to come downstairs so that she can work on building some kind of project with them. So I was wondering, out of curiosity, because I used to do nonprofits, was it actually her nonprofit? And she said it wasn't. It might have been. And then what type of program or grants or funding were they using? And of course, it's very competitive. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as trying to help people. But so of course she, was kind of standoffish about it. But it was just weird because she turned around and was looking me up and down like, hello. And I was like, hey, And so it's really weird how you catch little things on the slide. There was a lady that was there that said that she had thought about me. And she hadn't seen me in a while. And again, little things that are being said on the slide. But what I did show appreciation for was the fact that she even thought about me. Because I mean, if you're thinking about me, I'm hoping, and the feeling that I got, because I said it with such confidence, was that perhaps it wasn't everything that I was hoping that it was, probably out of pity. But I asked her, I didn't ask her, but I told her, well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that you were thinking about me, because I'm sure, that's equivalent to praying for me, because I'm sure you were thinking things that were encouraging and empowering about me, And then she asked me my name. And I said, well, now you know my name. Now when you think about me tonight, you can think the same thing. And hopefully, she didn't take offense to that, because some people take things like that as catty, but it wasn't. I legitimately, need all of the support and encouragement I can get. So hopefully she does think about me tonight. And when she does think about me, she thinks about supporting and encouraging things. That's it, So that's about it. Lots of positivity. Some things I didn't really agree with, like there was the children singing. There was a guy that was on the bus, and I'm gonna tell you about bus riders in South Florida. Majority of them have been through the system in one way or another, and I think I've said this before. They've been through either the criminal justice system, some type of legal issues, somehow in the homeless system, in the if you don't have a good family support system here, or just great charisma, you may, 90% of people that ride the bus find themselves entrapped in those type of situations. So for me to hear what I heard out of his mouth the next really disturbed me, especially after he's, maybe he was just yearning for, the word or whatever, because the mother of the kids were really good too. But this man goes and sits in the back. And to me, being a person that's been in a shelter, I know what homeless people look like from the varying degrees and levels of homelessness. And so the guy sits down and he says, oh, sir, do you think that you really want to sit there? And the guy was like, what? And I looked at the seat was clean. He was just like, there was somebody sitting there that well, let me see how I can say this, that didn't really fit into society. I'm like, what kind of thing is that to say? You know what I'm saying? Looking at him, he's probably like 40, 50 years old, living with parents, uncles, in a shelter, something like that. How can you say that about somebody else? But then I do understand that perhaps, because he was talking to this woman and her children, and they all seemed upright and good, that, perhaps he just wanted to be accepted. And that was kind of him etching into stone, the fact that, I'm part of this accepted crowd. And I understand wanting to be accepted, because this is something that, this is something that has been important to me, and I didn't even realize it was important to me, but it is. To a certain extent, we all want, especially you don't miss what you got till it's gone. When you get to a point where there's nobody that wants anything from you, you can't offer anything to anybody. And that's what the system did for me. I couldn't even volunteer places. So it made me have this own vision of myself, in this world, even though to me it wasn't right. That's what I saw. And, I understand that. And I understand how perceptions are easily swayed. My perceptions have been easily swayed, intentionally and unintentionally, just by the things that people do. in their nature. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. My bus is coming, so I'm out right on time too.